The following has been developed by state and provincial agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Technology. Together, serving education.
Last time, Marvin, the mental magician, showed us a couple of techniques for mental addition. This time, he's going to help us with subtraction. And he's got help.
Let's go! Hurry up!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As you may remember last time, my assistant,
Marvin.
Sorry, I should say my associate, Tess. Tess and I last time demonstrated amazing powers of mental computation. Well, I've got news for you. Kid stuff. That's right, kid stuff, compared to what we've got for you today. Today, mental computation for subtraction while breakdancing. Music, please. Okay, gang, I'm ready. Throw it at me.
57 minus 32.
25. Amazing?
Yeah.
In this incident, Marvin used the left-right method.
Well, I prefer to think of it as the break-in method.
You probably remember the left-right method from the last time. Again, I'm just demonstrating the mental process. I'm not encouraging you to use pencils or calculators. Okay. 57 minus 32 equals 25. Step 1, subtract the tens on the left side. 5 tens minus 3 tens equals 20. Second step is to subtract the ones. 7 ones minus 2 ones equals 5 ones. And finally, the last step is to add up the two sums. 20 plus 5 equals 25. Simple?
Sure, but when you add the breakdancing to it, it's not so simple. Okay, I'm ready. Throw it at me.
67 minus 25.
42. Isn't that amazing? How about a hand?
Do you think we could kill the breakdancing?
No way, Tess. This is show business. I mean, like, you wouldn't think of asking Miss Piggy to quit singing, would you?
Yes.
Well, it's the same with mental computation. Come on, the crowd's getting restless.
Here's a hard one. How about 74 minus 38? No music.
36.
Right. This time, Marvelous Marvin did not use the left-right method, did you, Marvin?
My lips are sealed.
He used something we call the attention method because we bring the bottom number, or the subtrahend, to the nearest 10. Let's have a look at this problem. 74 minus 38 equals 36. It's definitely a regrouping situation. The bottom number in the ones column is larger than the top number in the ones column. Therefore, step 1, add to the bottom number to bring it to the nearest 10.
38 plus 2 equals 40.
Right. Step 2, add the same amount to the top number to keep it in the same relationship.
74 plus 2 equals 76.
Right. Finally, in step 3, subtract the two numbers using the left-right method. 7 tens minus 4 tens equals 3 tens. 6 ones minus 0 ones equals 6 ones. But you might be able to see that 76 minus 40 equals 36 without going through all the left-right steps.
So, what do you do? How do you decide when to use just the left-right method?
Well, you have to think about the situation a bit before you choose your method. If it's a regrouping situation, it's good to use the attention method.
Hello, math fans. This is Brent Mathbuster welcoming you to Mental Math Today. Some excellent action in that half. Of course, it was obvious to this reporter that Marvin was severely hampered by the loss of his music in the second quarter, but still, some excellent action. I thought the players did a great job of analyzing the situations, especially when to use the left-right method. Let's roll that tape.
I'm ready. Throw it at me.
57 minus 32.
25.
Okay, let's diagram that. 57 minus 32. Now, as you know, there are 3 steps to the left-right method. Step 1, subtract the tens, that is, the column on the left. So with 57 minus 32, we have 5 tens minus 3 tens, or 20. Step 2, subtract the ones, that is, the column on the right. 7 minus 2 equals 5. And step 3, add the 2 sums together for your total. 20 plus 5 equals 25. Now, let's take a look at that second quarter highlight where Marvin is working without his music.
How about 74 minus 38?
36.
Still a great move. Now, let's see if we can break it down into simpler steps. 74 minus 38. Now, it seems clear that Marvin must have been using the attention method first on this problem. So, let's take another look at it. Step 1. Add to the bottom number to bring it to the nearest 10. Step 2. Add the same amount to the top number to keep the numbers in the same relationship. Step 3. Use the left-right method to subtract the 2 numbers to get your answer. Okay? Okay. Now I'd like to turn to one of my favorite sports, darts, and show you some of the amazing feats of mental computation that are part of that game.
The game of darts started back in medieval times, hundreds of years ago in Britain, when archers would throw their arrows at log ends and make a little game of it. Today, 83 million players from 34 nations comprise the World Darts Federation. Now, to become a good player, a person must have regular practice, total dedication, concentration, and above all, good math skills. Because you see, the main game is 501 counting down. And 320s, of course, is a score of 60. And if a player were to throw all 3 darts into the treble 20, they would have scored 180. If a player threw 3 treble 20s again, we now, counting down, have scored 180, leaving 321, and another 180, leaving 141. Now, with 3 darts, the player can still complete the perfect game. And to finish on 141, watch how I do this. Remember, they have to finish on a double on the outside ring. The treble 17 or 51 takes 51 points off, so now we're down to 90. And from 90, we're going to shoot for the treble 18 or 54. And of course, 54 subtracted from 90 leaves 36. And to complete the perfect game, the 36, the double 18 on the outside ring. Let's join the action now in the final game of the National Championships. 20, a 19, and an 18. So he scores 57, and subtracting down from 501, he's now down to 444. And now here's the 2-time national champion, Bobby Seneve. Bobby Seneve, with his first dart, hits a treble 20, a single 20, and his last dart was in a 5. So he hits 85, and he's down to 416. And you know, the good players in this game, the great players in this game, sometimes can keep track of 5 games simultaneously and keep all 5 scores at the same time in their head. And now for the National Championship, double 16. Yes, there it is, and there's the game and the National Championship.
Once upon a time, there was a family of gnomes. Mama Gnome, who was very wise, and her husband, Sergeant Major Gnome, who was not quite so wise, but who was very good at drilling their 2 children, Noddy and Nellie Gnome, as they all marched off to the diamond mines each day. If Noddy and Nellie ever started quarreling about how many more diamonds one of them had dug up than the other, Mama Gnome would always solve the problem by doing some subtracting in her head.
48 minus 35 is 13. So, Noddy has exactly 13 more diamonds than Nellie.
But one morning, Mama Gnome didn't feel very well and couldn't go to the mines.
You'll have to solve the children's subtraction problems for me, Sergeant Major.
But, my love, I can't do subtraction in my head.
I know. You could do a subtraction drill. Let's call it the left-right drill. If you have to take, say, 32 from 57, first you deal with the numbers on the left, the tens, and you take 3 from 5. That's 2. Then you deal with the numbers on the right, the ones, and you take 2 from 7. That's 5. So the answer is 25.
At first, the left-right drill worked well for the Sergeant Major. But later in the day, the Sergeant Major found that Nellie had 83 diamonds and Noddy had 49.
Left, 4 from 8 is 4, and right, 9 from 3 is... Oh, brother, you can't take 9 from 3. I'll have to ask Mama Gnome for help.
Getting one of the numbers to the nearest 10 is another way of doing subtraction in your head. When the bottom number in the ones column is bigger than the top number, the left-right subtraction method alone doesn't work. So you could do the attention drill by adding. For example, if you have to take 49 from 83, you could add 1 to 49 to make it 50 and balance this by adding 1 to 83 to make it 84. Then use the left-right method to subtract 50 from 84, which comes to 34.
So from then on, whenever Mama Gnome couldn't go to the mines, the Sergeant Major had the drill for the job. All this thanks to the wisdom of Mama Gnome.
Okay, let's get back to the big game and see how Marvin and Tess are doing.
What's he doing now?
Marvin, don't you think this is sort of carrying things a bit too far?
Tess, this is show business. We're in the tradition of Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, DeBarge. The show must go on, but it must go in style.
Hey, Marv, don't you think you're carrying us just a little bit too far?
Look, you guys, do you think I enjoy doing this? I'm doing it for you. Now, who's got a question for the great Frantini?
What's the big deal about this mental math? Everybody's got a calculator or a pencil.
Yeah, but you don't always have a calculator with you.
I still don't understand why you shouldn't use only the left-right method in a regrouping situation.
Okay, let's try it. Suppose we have 62 minus 37.
25.
Okay, what's the first step?
Subtract the tens. 6 tens minus 3 tens equals 3 tens or 30.
Right. And then?
Step 2. Subtract the ones. 2 minus 7. Oh.
You're getting into a regrouping situation.
I see, it gets complicated.
Right. If you're into a regrouping situation, it's best not to use the left-right method.
Tess. I think I'd like to get down now. I'm not feeling too well.
Oh, but Marvin, this is show business.
No, really, Tess. I think I need to regroup.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you all. And remember, with a lot of practice, you too can be mental magicians.
If you want to become as good as Marvin, use the left-right or the attention methods, or a method that you've dreamed up, and practice. Lots of it.
MathWorks is a component of the Mathematics for the 80s project and is supported in part by Exxon Education Foundation. This program is produced by the FilmWorks under the supervision of the Agency for Instructional Technology.